Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Our Side of the Story podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Taira.
I'm Daizah.
And we're ready to get into it. Today, we have a very interesting conversation, starting out with our last question of the day, which was, what or who do you make the most time for? What you got?
So for me, in this stage of life that I'm in, because it wasn't like this before, but in this stage of life, I would say I make time for me the most because I'm in that stage where it's like I've constantly given and given and given to other people that, no, I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to express who I am and do things that fulfill me internally. And then who I make the most time for, I'm such a family-orientated person. So if it's like experiences with my girlfriends or with friends in general or family, I'm going to go out and do it because life's too short and you just got to make sure that you live in life, you know?
I love that.
For the good moments, the good times.
I love the fact that you started out with, I make the most time for me. That is so important. I think I've yet to learn that how important it is. Because my answer to the question, what or who do I make the most time for? I would say the what is my businesses. And I found myself kind of getting consumed. Like, okay, I'm tired of scrolling because I have to engage on social media in order for my algorithm to blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, okay, now I'm like, I feel drained putting so much time and energy into this one entity. However, it's a must because I'm still in the building block stages of building the business. So hopefully it'll transition into me not having to put as much time and energy and efforts into what I'm doing currently, as far as like scrolling, engaging, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see.
Account manager.
You know, I thought about it. One, that's expensive as heck. And I don't think I'm at the stage yet where I can afford one. I could afford it, but it would be like, I'm not really seeing the revenue from, my hard work because it's being dished out to whatever. But that's a part of the game. So we'll see. I'm still navigating that. The who do I make the most time for is my significant other. Like I find myself obsessed with Malik sometimes. Like we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing. We love spending so much time together. But it's like, it's because we're best friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's not because like, oh, this is my hubby. I just want to be all up under him. No, it's like we hitting the game. We making some food. We going to a movie. We're just doing whatever we feel like doing. But I will say we understand the concept of personal space as well. So it's not necessarily like a smothering type of relationship where we're always up under each other. We're up under each other a lot, but we know it's like, all right, I'll see you in a couple of days. Just
Was it like that when y'all first met? Or were y'all like lovey-dovey?
No, I don't feel like we're always lovey-dovey, but we're not. How do you even say that word?
Lovey-dovey?
Is it dovey or dubby? Lovey-dovey?
I think it's lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey.
I think.
I don't know. Somebody drop it in the chat.
I ain't never heard lovey-dovey.
I be switching it up. Sometimes it's lovey-dovey and sometimes it's lovey-dovey. I don't know which one it is. Somebody grammatically correct us. But yeah, we've never been, we've always kind of been like that because we're just, our chemistry it runs that deep.
So y'all honeymoon phase just stays.
No, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes it's like, I don't want to be bothered. And, I don't feel like being bothered with you specifically. But that chemistry is always there, if that makes sense. But going back to what I said, we know how to, put that pause into it because it's like, okay, we need a reset. We need to reset. Yeah. But I learned, through conversations with people and just from my observations of the couples that I've seen, out and about, some people don't understand that smothering in a relationship is a real thing. It's a real thing and it's very unhealthy.
Very much.
Very unhealthy. It's people out there who like work with their significant other, go home with their significant other. They go to lunch with I'm like, oh my God, that's too much. That's too much for me personally.
That was me and my partner. We literally, remember when we talked about the solar industry?
Yeah.
Taira and I met in business first, and then we transitioned to the solar industry together. And at that time, we were working 6 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. together, sitting in a car from sunrise basically to sunset. So the relationship was based off of work, production, knocking doors. And as we kept knocking and knocking and knocking, it became our career and we were consumed in it.
Yeah.
And now looking back at that, it's like we weren't able to separate work from work in our home life.
Yeah.
And it kind of was like a con. There was pros and cons to it. Like we did really good in business together, but then there was cons to it because we couldn't be friends outside of that. And like our friendship was deteriorated.
Yeah.
Or we didn't have the time to create the friendship. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
do you feel as though because it's okay, from what you just shared, it sounds like it was a very professional relationship. It was a professional, intimate relationship.
Yes.
So do you feel as though it was mostly consumed of, mostly consisting of
business?
Just business?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's more of a business partner that you just, did some things with every now and again.
No, because even before solar, we were in the MLM for Forex. And even then, he didn't know me like outside of it. Besides, I'm known as a Platinum 2000 and he's a P1000. And we're handling calls together and posting this and that. So he sees me in the aspect of a businesswoman.
Yeah.
But we just did so well together. So it was like, yeah.
Why not?
And we were both down bad. So we was helping each other out.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Sharing a car.
And then y'all lived together too. Yeah. How was the relationship when y'all went home? Like, was it still talking about work, or did you? So you said you didn't find time to like create and build on the friendship.
We were just in grind mode.
Yeah,
like we really needed to get out of the situation. Like we were broke. We were, and that was like still pandemic time. So I wasn't working, he wasn't working. And when we got home, we were exhausted. Like we were always eating lunch out, grabbing something for dinner, going home and knowing that we had to repeat it the next day.
Yeah.
Literally. But during the car, like during riding in the car, we would have conversations.
Yeah.
But there would be some days where it's just like, all right, we just here to work today.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay. I feel like you're not the only one.
For sure.
What were you going to say?
Just finding the balance.
Balance between what? The relationship and doing business together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I hear some couples where they can manage both at the same time and it not be a problem.
Right. And that was going to be what I was going to ask. For those, because you're not the only one who has been in that predicament or is currently in that predicament. So what, and we can just kind of hash this out through conversation because I'm curious myself. I don't even know a creative way to do this, but what are some ways that people in that predicament can start maybe prioritizing the relationship a little bit more over like the business aspect of it, of y'all going to work together, going home together, all this, that, and the third?
Just being intentional.
Okay.
Not letting life and work
blend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be its own something.
Yeah.
As soon as y'all get through the door, don't talk about nothing that happened at work. Don't talk about the next day of work.
Literally.
It is, we are home, and let's do our lovey-dovey. Now I'm like stuck on it. Which one is it? I don't know. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey.
I'm going to figure it out. So on next episode, I'm going to make sure I come back and be like, okay, I found the right answer to this. It's this. Man, okay. Yeah, I'm grateful to say the only time I've experienced working with a significant other was with Malik, and we were deployed. So we deployed together in 2018. And that's when I first met him. And we found out that we're working in the same unit, doing the same job on the same shift. So it was very ironic. But we literally worked together, would go to chow together, and then go back to our barracks together. It's like, then rinse and repeating.
Yeah.
However, because it was such a temporary thing, because the deployment was only 6.5 months, it was like, oh, let's just enjoy this because it's fun. It's new. Yeah. It's new territory because I've never experienced like working and like being around my significant other 24/7.
Yeah.
But I remember like little spurts, moments where it's like, I'm sick of looking at your ass. I really am.
The one thing about you and Malik though that I realized is both of you guys each have your own thing going. Like Malik has things that he does and you have things that you do.
Yeah.
So that when you guys are both busy and then when you guys are done, you guys come back to each other.
Yes.
Because when y'all was on the phone today, I was like, damn, Malik like, yeah, bro. And you were very just like, all right.
Yeah. I was like, what you doing? What you doing? How you doing? How was your day? What you eat? Did you eat today?
No, literally.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, hey, I'll call you tomorrow. Love you.
Malik was like, all right, well, if I don't talk to you tonight, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
We don't need to talk. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is because we never like sat down and had a conversation like, hey, personal space is important. We need to prioritize personal space. We've just always known that. So like going back to the point that I made about us being deployed together, I want to say maybe like 2 months or so in, we started, okay, you take your time, I'm gonna take my time. Like I'm gonna go, it was a thing out there where I played bingo. So bingo was like my little personal time. So I would go play bingo. Sometimes he would join me, but most of the times I would go by myself. And then, once I was ready, hey, what you doing? You wanna grab chow? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. I think a creative way that people who are always around their significant other, they can find ways to go and have personal space, whether that be like you go get a massage, you go to the nail salon, whatever the case is, or the guy go golfing. I don't know. Just y'all find your personal space time. And then once it's time for y'all to start doing things together in the relationship, not business, y'all, make a calendar. Like for me and Malik, although we have our personal space, we have one dedicated day where nothing else in the world matters. And that's Sunday because it's called date day. So although we're married, we've been married for how many ever years, and we've been dating for however many years, we still date. We make it a priority to date each other. So that'd be, getting dressed up, going to dinner and a movie, or finding like a paint and sip, or whatever the case is. So it's like, that's our time to be lovers. That's our time to be partners. You know what I'm saying? Not in business or anything, but that's like our time to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think last night when I was like, what did I say? Because you were like, I'm just always in love with Malik. And I was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
You're in love with Malik like every day?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome.
Every day.
Because not a lot of people experience or even feel that with their partners. Yeah. But I was going to say, I think it's really important to understand your partner's love language. Because if you don't understand it, then y'all will never see or make that person feel loved.
Yes.
And another thing too, before we talk about love languages, when I think of, what did you use the word? Smothering?
Yeah.
Smothering to me is codependency.
Ooh, yes.
And I learned that like which we'll talk about at a different time, but my attachment style is anxious. And so I attract people who are avoidant. And anxious is like, I'm going to blow your phone up. I'm going to question where you're at. If I don't hear from you all day, like, where are you at? And then an avoidant, because I'm anxiously attached to them, they're going to run away from that. They're not going to want to talk. They're going to shut down. And codependency is not healthy.
At all. No.
Because if someone pisses you off or they're sad, you feel that you're responsible for their problems.
Yes.
And I had to learn that very well. And I think that's another reason why a lot of women should do something that they love or focus on them and not rely on somebody to make them feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But love languages. What is your love language and what is Malik's?
Ooh, okay. I actually think about this often because I feel as though it changes so much. It just depends on the season that I'm in,
I felt that.
The current season that I'm in, I feel like my love language, and this is one that has never changed, like it's unwavering, gift giving. But not in a way where I like to receive gifts. I like to give gifts.
Okay.
Like giving people, like just blessing others in whatever capacity just warms my soul. It allows me to fight another day. It's like, yes, I did something in the world.
Fight another day is crazy.
I love blessing others in whatever way, whether that be financially or, something of service, not necessarily acts of service, but I guess you could say in a way, but it's a gift to them.
Like making someone feel seen or excited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's unwavering. That's always going to be one of my love languages is gift giving, but in the opposite direction. And I would say acts of service as well. Okay. I'm the type of person where I feel as though I have to take on everything on my plate and get it done myself. So when Malik understands the assignment to like he's a good listener when it comes to the important stuff. Because my baby, he got a mind of a, I don't even know, mind of a goldfish. Sometimes I'll tell him something 5 minutes later, he's like, wait, you said that? I'm like, come on now. But he doesn't forget the important stuff. That's what I will give him credit for. So when it comes to like, damn, like I'm sitting there stressing about, I got this, I got to do this, I got to da-da-da-da-da-da. He's always like in the background planning how he can take something off my plate and then just getting it done. And then when I go to do it, he's like, it's already done. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
I can totally relate to that because before I had baby, my 2 were physical touch and then words of affirmations. But now that being a mom, listen, if you can buckle that car seat for me or take it out the car and put it, if you can take the trash out for me or have that bottle prep for me. Yes, Lord.
Like, yes, please and thank you.
Help me, please. It's just because I'm all over the place. But then physical touch, like if I'm washing the dishes and I'm stressed, go ahead and rub my shoulders a little bit. But they changed. Like they were not like that, But there was this quote, which it wasn't a quote, it was just kind of like a statement that explained love languages very well. And it was, without attention, love feels invisible.
Ooh.
So like half-listened stories, details missed, not being present.
Yes, I like that.
And I was like, that is so true.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, without attention, love feels invisible.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And before I forget, you did ask me what Malik's love languages are. I feel like his change pretty often as well. I'm pretty sure, I think, no, let me not say I think, I know. One of his is words of affirmation. He loves being affirmed. He loves being uplifted. He loves being supported through actions and verbally, of course. But I feel like he goes back and forth between physical touch as well. I'm not a physical touch person. I don't like necessarily being touched.
That's crazy.
Even like in my sleep, like I'll touch his foot a couple times, give him
a little something.
Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Feelings. And then I'm just like, okay, let me.
You don't like feet rubs?
No, I don't.
What?
He likes
so
doing all that.
So do you get massages?
Yeah,
you're okay.
That's their job. You know what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely.
That's crazy.
I go when I get a massage. Of course, I'm going there for my tension in my body to be released. That's completely different. But like physical touch for people to be just touching all over you all the time, But sometimes he likes that. Yeah. He doesn't like it all the time. That's why I said he goes back and forth between liking physical touch and then it's like, what are you doing? So I don't know. I would say, but definitely words of affirmation for sure.
I feel like that might be a lot of men though. Like
physical
to uplift them.
Oh,
and
yes. Absolutely. And I would say
alter ego maybe.
It's a lot of the men who didn't necessarily have a father figure to instill those like
words
of
encouragement.
Yes, empowerment into them. Because it hits different when a man empowers another man, like a boy growing into a man, than when a woman empowers a boy growing into a man. Like, of course, you're gonna still feel that confidence a little bit, but it's gonna hit way harder if you've gotten that from a man your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so you're also his woman too.
Yes, and that's why I say like I'm still carrying on what his mother did for him, which was empower him as he grew into a man.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that he has the relationship that he does with his father because, he's, you know what I'm saying? He's a man's man, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, anywho's. But what is your love language? Because I'm talking too damn much.
Mine, like I said, mine is, what did I say? Physical touch and acts of service now.
Oh, yeah, you did. I'm sorry. You did say that. Okay. Now, as it relates to physical touch, when did you, has that always been one of your love languages? Or did it become your love language when you became a mom?
No.
Yeah.
Physical touch is like one of those things, like hold my hand.
Okay.
Touch my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love feet rubs. I feel like that's just like, not the key to my heart, but like if you can just, I don't know. My guilty pleasure is like, so I don't know, maybe it makes sense.
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe because I feel comfort.
Okay.
It's like being wanted. or like someone's safe space almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, does that love language, is that universal? Like anybody touching you would kind of satisfy your need for physical touch? Or does it have to be like a particular person, like your significant other?
I think okay. Actually, they say that your love language, whichever one is like your top two, comes from your childhood of what you didn't receive.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I believe that, but also I believe that to a certain extent. I will say that.
Because I do know that like my mom, we grew up, like she's a very touchy person.
Yeah.
And she was raised in a touchy household. Like her own grandma would slap her butt, or it was just, you know what I mean? That's just what she did. So my mom is very touchy too. And obviously I'm very touchy to say. And I think for me personally, like being hugged tightly or just like knowing that you're holding me, it's like a security thing. And it might come from my dad, honestly. But I think it would matter with my significant other the most, because that's who's like my right hand.
Yeah.
So if I can feel that from you, which is like, maybe it's an inner child thing. I don't know. Like a healing thing that I need to, I don't know.
I could see it possibly being stemmed from that.
Yeah.
That might be something we need to talk to our therapist about.
I
love that though.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've never experienced physical touch being one of my love languages. And early into our relationship, Malik, I guess he tried to put his love languages on me, which one of them was physical touch. And when I say early on, this is like when we first moved in together, which I'll get into in just a second. But yeah, I feel like when you don't know someone's love language, that impacts the relationship. Because you go trying to project what you think is their love language or what yours are, and you're not necessarily satisfying that person's needs. Yeah. So there's two rules that I love to live by, and they're universal. You can apply them however. And in this particular instance, we're going to apply it to love language, but you can apply it just in society, just treating people how they should be treated. Yeah. So you have the golden rule, and that's treating people how you want to be treated. But you have the platinum rule, and this is the one that people neglect a lot. The platinum rule is treating people how they want to be treated, because it's a big difference. Because although, yes, you know, if I ask you, how do you want to be treated? Oh, I want to be treated good. And you ask me how I want to be treated, I want to be treated great, phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So treat me as such. I don't want to just be treated good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, platinum rule, treat people how they want to be treated. So going back to love languages, yeah, Malik thought physical touch could possibly be mine, or he would just project his physical touch love language on me. And I'm just like, that's what we're not going to do. Please don't get them toes off me. Get your hand. No, I'm good. So when we moved in together, that was like a something that we had to figure out. Like, okay, I don't like that. I like this. Yeah. You like that. Cool. I can satisfy that for you. But yeah, let's not do that for me. Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of moving in though, so we moved in. I would consider us having moved in together very early. So I don't even know how many months it had been, but we moved in prior to a year of us being together. And it was one because I was living with my uncle at the time. I had just gotten out of the dorms here in Vegas. I'm sorry, Nellis Air Force Base. And I was staying with my uncle until I found an apartment. Malik had already had a house. So I was like, oh, well, I'm over here all the time. Let me just go ahead and bring the rest of my stuff. Yeah. So it kind of just was a unspoken transition. It just kind of happened. Yeah. I like the fact that I moved in and we kind of got to know each other even more throughout that, between us staying with each other. But I do think that, I always question, I'm not going to say I think, I always question, did we move in together a little too early though?
I was just going to say that.
Like, was it premature?
It kills the buildup. Or the experience.
Yeah, I feel like I missed something. Like I missed a stage in our relationship prior to us moving in together.
Absolutely.
I think about that often. And I hate to go back and be like, what if? But that is something that I'm like, what if? Had we waited a little bit longer? Because for me, if I were to mentor somebody and about relationships or whatever, I would always say, wait at least a year. Date them for at least a year, and then you guys can have the conversation about moving in together. Because I feel like you want to see how that person is outside of y'all living together in the relationship, right? Because once y'all live together,
if I find out you dirty,
oof, yeah, that's a whole other something right there too.
I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, especially if both of y'all names on a lease, you can't do nothing about it for a whole year.
Yeah.
But that is a good question though. Like, when is it considered too early to move in with your significant other?
I feel like dating at first, when you first start dating somebody, I would say a year is a good time. But after that year, you need to evaluate, are y'all really doing this, or is it convenient?
Right.
Because if it's convenient, y'all moving in for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
And I would say for me, Taira, we moved in, when did we move in? I got my first apartment in June of 2020. And he stayed there for a whole 30 days. 30 days without going back to his own apartment. And then I was like, all right, you can go back now.
You're dismissed.
Yeah, but after that, once my lease was up, we moved in together. And I think if you just stay in separate households that not crave, but the desire to miss them, it stays. And then you guys don't get confused and it's not foggy about what is actually happening.
Yes.
But because we have this high that we're on when we first meet somebody, we just want to be around them and we want to be laid up and this and that. Y'all start to focus on the wrong things.
Yes.
To me, it's going to die out.
Yes.
It's not going to be real or authentic. So I would say a year. But the thing with that is, if we go, what is that? So Sunday sermon, it literally talks about relationships. And the quote was, I had to go back to the sermon because I didn't want to say it wrong. Because we were going to talk about moving in before marriage, right?
So yes and yes and no. It was more so like the world of what old heads would call shacking up. You know what I'm saying? So there's older people in my family who would consider Malik and I have been shacked up prior to getting married, because we lived together for 3 years before we got married. And I feel like that's a necessity. I need to live with you to see if I really want to be with you long term, for the rest of my damn life.
But I feel like that's what y'all dating but living separately was for.
Yeah, but
I feel like you should be able to tell if you want to do be with somebody. Yes.
However, when you are living with, I feel like people are in they're in their habitat, their natural habitat, when they are in their own space at home. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have two people dating and y'all are going out and dating and whatever, and then sometimes you sleep over, they could be behaving in a way that is conducive for you to when you are temporarily coming over. When y'all are living together and you are seeing this person on a day-to-day basis, how they live, how they living, that's completely different. Because I'm not gonna say based on some of the traits that somebody displays based on, how they are at home, that could throw you off and you don't want to be with that person anymore. But it does happen. You may see that somebody is completely dirty. They wearing the same drawers 3 days in a row, or they don't wash their dishes. They got, they're just unhygienic or something. But the whole time behind closed doors, when you wasn't living with them, you didn't have that perception of them. Ooh. So you get the real deal spiel when you really live with somebody. And I just feel as though that is an essential before I commit life with you. You know what I'm saying? So the whole term shacking up, I hate the negative connotation that comes with that, just because I feel like that's a essential stage in a relationship before you commit on paper and in front of God and everything to be with this person for the rest of your life. That's me personally. So everybody that was like, y'all been living together for a long time. Oh, y'all bought a house together. Y'all ain't even married. Da, da, da. Yeah, we did. Why? Because it's smart. What do you mean? Y'all, you married this person, you complaining about him every goddamn day. I had the opportunity to choose my person and choose to stay with my person because I feel as though we did it the right way.
For sure.
We dated. We had our separate spaces. We got a space together. And we like, you know what? I like you a lot. Let's do this. And we did it. I'm sorry you married my grandma at 15 and y'all was just stuck together for the rest of your lives and
Unhappy,
you can't stand her ass.
miserable.
That ain't my business. Y'all should have did it the right way. Shit.
The Sunday sermon said cheap stuff needs to be tested, not a masterpiece.
Say it again.
Cheap stuff needs to be tested, not a masterpiece.
Cheap stuff needs to be tested, not a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Break that down because I have different perspectives.
If you go to CarMax, you're probably going to test the car out.
Right.
But if you go to Porsche, you're probably going to be like, okay, the car's probably in good condition. It's a high ticket price. Not be too worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're still going to test the car, but you ain't really going to like stress about it.
Right.
Like they say it's like, this isn't a dealership. Like dating isn't, or marriage isn't like a dealership.
Okay. You don't need to test it. You just buy it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No. Cheap stuff needs to be tested, not a masterpiece.
I think
not the glasses.
The way that I'm like interpreting what you said and the breakdown, I'm just like, that is the worst advice ever. So don't test out something before you buy it. Is that the advice that you're saying? Or that's the quote, that's the meaning of that quote?
I wouldn't say it was the meaning of it. It was just saying like, you're more likely to test like a CarMax car rather than a Porsche.
Okay, so you're saying if relating it to the topic at hand, if you have somebody that is showing you some CarMax features, CarMax traits, yeah, we're going to have to see about you, buddy.
Yes.
But if you have a
Porsche.
stellar stallion that's showing you Porsche traits and, characteristics, you know what? We good. We can skip the whole, step 2, 3, 4, 5 and get right to 6.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. What do they say in the devil is a liar? When they talk about shacking up and stuff because they don't believe in it. And it's a sin. Everyone's on their own journey. I'm just saying. Everyone is on their own journey.
I feel like everything in this world is a sin. I mean, it's very hard to do right. It's very hard to always do right in this world because there's so much that is sin.
Ooh, it is going down. We were born with sinful tendencies.
Yes.
So obviously.
Thanks, Eve. Sorry, I had to blame her right quick.
Not the thanks, Eve.
Yeah. Nobody told your ass to eat that goddamn apple. Go ahead. Anywho's.
We were born with sinful tendencies, but the point is because we were born with them, that's why we are essentially called or pulled to him so that we can get rid of those sinful tendencies. Like if we were just born perfect and no problems and no issues, this whole world will look entirely different.
Yeah, it would look how it should.
But there wouldn't be any if you were born perfect, you wouldn't have any growth, no lessons, no tears, no nothing.
Touche. I agree with that. I agree. But
What?
I always think, and this is like I don't even smoke. Of course I don't smoke, but you know how you have high conversations with yourself or high thoughts? I always think.
Like when you're high?
No, I've never been high. But what I'm saying is just how people, when they're high, they have these
they go into a different
ideas.
realm.
Exactly. Off the wall ideas or thoughts, whatever the case is. I always think say, let me think of an example. Say if jeans were meant to wear on your torso and the shirt was meant to wear on your bottom, that would be normal because that was, it started well before our time, before it could become not normal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you say, if you were born perfect, the world, you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't have this. But if we were born perfect, that would just be our normal. It wouldn't be we're missing out on something. Oh man, I wish we could sin, or I wish we, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So it's just put yourself in the clouds for a second. If you were born perfect, if everybody was born perfect and everything was perfect, what would be wrong with that?
I guess for me, there's a deeper meaning to life than just being perfect. I don't feel like that would be a good thing.
Is that a biased response though? Because you are, you are only aware of what you currently have experienced, which is an imperfect world.
Maybe. I just believe that we all have a deeper purpose and we were born and created this way for a certain reason.
Okay.
We were each put on this world because we have something inside of us that is meant to serve other people in any which way that we're meant to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout finding that process or going through that process to figure that out, we have to go through trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But if the world is perfect, we would never have any struggles to figure that out. Life would just be like this, honestly. I feel like.
But that would be our normal. I know. I'm playing devil's
She's
advocate over here.
Pick at something.
I'm playing devil's advocate over here only because it's like
I can't stand people that play
but it's good to have that countering perspective, because it's like, cool, you're giving me the response that I expect you to give me.
For sure.
The world would be like this. Nobody's perfect. This, and it's like, okay, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, if we had a world without imperfections, like,
I got it.
What would that look like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to imagine, like, what would that look like? Because we don't know. We don't know. We live in a very imperfect world.
We will never know.
We will never know. I guess what they say. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? We don't know. The world will never know. So, oh well. But it is that time for us to get into the question of the day for this episode. And I forgot what it is. So let me read it off my notes for y'all right quick.
Let
me get into my granny stage right here. Get the glasses. All right. So the question of the day is, all right, what is a family tradition that you want to implement into your family? So this question, if you don't have a family right now, meaning like kids, spouse, whatever of your own, just think about something that you would like to take from what you experienced growing up and apply it to your future family. And if you have a family, what is something that you've already taken from your upbringings, family traditions, and have implemented into your family's traditions now? So make sure you guys drop that comment of the response of the question of the day. Make sure you also like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all on the next episode.